Hey, 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 hey!
Good afternoon, good evening, good night, or good morning, depending on where in the world you are watching That Balloon Show.
Today on That Balloon Show, we are diving into something fresh and exciting.
That's right, Dominic, we're getting hands-on with the Balloonia, a brand made in Spain that's already making waves across Europe and America.
And to put it to the test, we'll be creating one of our signature frameless linking balloon arches using Balloonia 12-inch Decolinks.
Plus, we'll be adding some final touches with some Prima foils and deco balloons to bring the whole design together.
It's going to be creative, colourful and fun episode, and you won't want to miss it.
But before that,
there's this. Welcome back.
Hello guys, have you missed us? It's been a very quick 2 weeks. Can you believe it? We're already in March. Blink and you've already missed a third of the year.
I'm going to say almost a quarter of the year will have elapsed.
It's a crazy. So, on tonight's show, as you've seen by the preview image and also by our intro, we actually have a new brand for the very first time on our show called Balloonia.
Balloons by Balloonia.
Yes, so Balloonia is, for those that don't know, are a balloon that's manufactured in Spain, so inside of Europe.
Yes.
The company's been going for around 14 years now, so although they're not new to the market, they're very new to the UK market.
Correct, yes. So well established across Europe and in some of the US and other markets there as well.
Yeah, we got to use them in America.
We did, yeah. That was the first time we knew of them, hadn't used them in anger. We had a good go with them, and what was, again, more important to us is it was other people's opinions.
Yes.
That's what was really good is, you know, we used them, having a bit of a play with them, but the guys there doing the build, which was a big build, so lots of different sizes and the colours being used by multiple different people who all in their own business use a selection of variety of different balloons as well. So
yes,
really good feedback directly from them as well. So that was a really good introduction to the brand for us as to how well it stood up to the different types of builds. They were doing a variety of different builds from walls, columns, complicated, very fancy characters and all that kind of stuff. So they're being put to the test.
Yes, so, but they also manufacture one of our favourite balloons, and that is the linking balloon. Some of you guys might already know that we are quite well known for our linking balloon designs.
The Lego of the balloon industry.
It is the Lego of balloon industry. So we were very excited to be able to get our hands back onto some linking balloons and get them into the workshop and see how they stand up to the test.
That's right.
So I'm going to go in there, actually.
Go on, you dive on over.
Okay, I'll see you guys in a minute.
Over you go. They are available in two sizes. We've got the 12-inch Decolink and the 6-inch Decolink. So all of our designs work really well with these two sizes. Really good wide range of colours to work with as well. So we picked a colour palette today to work with, and Keith's standing over.
I'm standing over here, but slightly confused because the camera of what's going out is not the one that's going out.
Okay.
I know it is going out, but the one that I'm looking at to say what's going out isn't actually going out.
He's confused. It doesn't take much.
Yeah, anyway, well, you get over here, you'll see.
Here's the balloons. Here we go.
Hello, look, here we go. You guys were too slow. I already built this arch in the time that it took you to get from over there to over here. But look at the top right-hand corner. It's not showing what's going out there, is it? So, yes, this is
I'm confused. Yes.
Yes.
We need an update on that.
We do.
Anyway.
So
we've got chat, though. We've got chat on the big screen.
Oh, we have got chat on a big screen. I'm no longer looking at an iPad like that to figure out what's going on.
It's back. It's in the studio.
If you've got any questions, do put them in the chat. We can see them straight there and answer them as best as we can. So we have our giant walkthrough, frameless, completely just air-filled arch.
Yeah, no helium, no frame. The only supporting element is the balloons itself and the weights that are on the base.
Yes, so we've got 8 sand weights on the bottom. And then the rest of it is just air and latex, which is perfect. We're using 3 different colors, shades of pink in this one.
So we've got pink, pink, and pink, right?
We have the rose pink, which is just pink. Then we also have 2 different shades of baby pink, because with the range from Balloonia, they also have different textures involved. So we have this one, which they call the pastel, we would call our standard colours, yeah? So it's just a translation thing. Our standard colours, but this is our baby pink in the standard colours. And then we've got this one, which we would say is a pastel.
Yeah, it's closing on white here, especially with the studio lights on it as well, but it has a very, very soft tone of pink in there.
Yes,
I think it's
and they call it their matte range.
That's right, yes.
We
and it does have that look to
pastel.
it. It's amplified as a pink nicely in here because it's got the stronger pink tones in there as well. But
and also with having white right next to it as well, you can see the difference.
You can see, absolutely see that contrast there. The great thing is though, although it has got that naming convention, Balloonia have done a very good job of using a code.
Yes.
So they've got for the codes itself, and that's across the range as well. So it's really easy to make sure if you, it might be called baby pink and baby pink as such.
Yeah, but like for instance, it's what is it? It's P28. Is that right? Am I right in getting that?
Can't read it upside down.
Yeah, P28.
Yep.
So the baby pink is P28.
And then T, is it or TO2? I think it is.
T02 for the pastel version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it means when you're looking at the different colours across the different sizes, you can make sure that you're getting the right colour. So you might be looking for that TO2, and you can see that it's available in the link. It's in the 12-inch and the 5-inch latex, rather than making a mistake and going, oh, I'll buy a baby pink 12-inch round, but actually you're getting this baby pink, and then you're going to go for the baby pink Decolink, which is this one. So you want to make sure that you're ordering it and checking the codes accordingly. There's only a couple of colours like that. However, it's really clear when you purchase them that it's done with the code. So nice.
What we're going to do is we're not going through the whole thing of inflating the entire arch, but we are going to inflate and tie some of these Decolinks together, just so you can see the technique that we use when we tie them to make sure they're nice and tight. Because the big thing with this is if you're going to have it self-standing without any framework, your knots, your connections need to be tight because it needs to pull itself together. You need to use that elasticity of the latex to pull itself together. So that's the tightness of the balloon itself.
Anybody who's ever had an issue with this build, it always goes back to this part that you're about to show.
It's either tying or they've overinflated the balloon and let them down, and it softens the balloon. And then if you do that, you've got to tie it even tighter. So what I've got is the Premium Common Twin Air Sizer 2 set to 9 inches, which is 3.2 seconds on our particular machine with this particular brand of balloons. So I've got my foot pedal on the floor. I'm going to tie, inflate and tie 2 together. So off it goes, we pull nice and tight, we go once and twice round, and we hold on to that.
And that's the important part there, that stretch, to make sure you're using all of our excess latex on the off side of the knot. And then Keith's wrapped it twice and tied it once. You don't need to tie it twice. The wrapping is going to help seal it, and then the one knot just to keep it all together.
Yeah. So because we're going to do runs of 3s just to do this demonstration on here, I've done the same thing again, and then you grab one of them. There we go, the baby pink in the pastel. And then we tie it to one of the ends. When you're using the tip and you're tying the tips together, squeeze the air out as much as you possibly can, pull it up, go once round, twice round, and then tie with a simple knot over the top. And then we have our chain of 3. Now we need to repeat the same process with our rose pink. Once, twice.
Well,
and then ready with these ones. Go. And once, twice, tie it off, and we've got another set of 3. Now what we need to do is, so these are our chains. So this is the darker pink there, the rose, is going the inside. Then the lighter pink here, the baby pink pastel, is going around the outside. So now we need to create our connectors which go in between. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to use 4 Decolinks, 12-inch Decolinks, size to 9 inches again, so 3.2 on the machine, and we're going to have 4 of them tied together into a chain.
Thank you.
And then we're going to do the same thing again for a second one, just to show you going.
When you get to a point where the chain might be too long for you just to wrap your arm around, that's the easiest way. However, if you're joining some chains together that are a bit longer, when you can't get you under your arm, do the stretch, bring it underneath and just put your finger on it. So you bring your hand back round again, pass it, but just keeping the pressure on with your finger stops it unspinning and giving that a loose knot.
Great tip.
It is a great tip. Also, this one here now.
Tip.
I got it.
Okay,
they
fair
got it. We just chose to move on. So we can join these chains together, and I'm going to do this one, and we'll do the other one the other way. Okay. So this would work the same way in the fact we're going to bring these two together, put the stretch in, wrap it, then put a little bit of pressure on, and then wrap it round again and tie that to give you that ring of the 4 12-inch Decolinks.
But we'll show you the way that we actually do it because it's slightly different. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 5-inch white. Now, I love the white from Balloonia. It's very opaque. I'm taking a hand pump, doing 2 strokes. It's just under 4 inches. And then I'm twisting that off. And then what Don's going to do is going to tie it to one of the ends.
So we'll wrap it around just like we've been doing. Single knot, and it creates a very tight connection between the 12-inch link and the 5-inch balloon. What's great about this technique is this is far more transportable than this one is. This one's structure now. It's going to create.
It's one of our Lego pieces.
Yeah, it's going to create a problem in one of the bags to transport it because it's rigid. Where this one, it's got so much flexibility, you can put loads of them in a bag. But when we arrive on site, we can take the 2 ends of this and just bring them together, and we just twist them to lock them into place. So that gives a really tight connection. This works especially, we can actually do this on a 3 as well, so it's a triangle structure. But bringing the 2 balloons together to get that really neat and tight is actually tricky to tie it, whereas doing it with this technique, it's absolutely perfect. But also on the 4, it's just quicker and easier to transport, which is why it's our preferred kind of method.
Yep. And then what I'm doing is, again, just 2 strokes, and I'm turning them into clusters of 2 balloons, or a duplet.
So this comes into the middle of the ring, and we just pull it to the outside. We don't need to twist this up right now, and I know it will just pull back out again, but that's fine because this is going to be connected to something else shortly, so that'll get the extra twisting going on. So literally through the middle, pull it out, and then it creates your connector piece with all of the 5-inch in place. And can you?
I could do them on this machine, but it's just to show that you can do it on a hand pump as well. And once you start doing it one way, really, you should do them all the same way. Otherwise, you get different tensions.
Just that consistency.
How many more? We need 2?
2 more sets. In your own time.
I am. It's.
Hey, Shelley. See, I can see it without my glasses on because you've got the big screen on.
I know.
Yay!
Great.
I missed you. True story.
It is. True story. Okay, and then that is the last one of them.
Now, again, a really good tip for the build of this is we have weights that go on the bottom.
Yes.
So the bottom
Big, juicy sand weights,
Yeah.
about the size of a tennis ball.
It's, well, funny enough, the same size as this, we make them. So it matches in with the size of the clusters that we're adding.
Do you guys have a trick for marking the balloons for transport that is easy for everyone to understand when on site? Yes. Do Do you want us to explain? I'm guessing they do. Yeah. So what we do is we bag up, and then we have a sticker that goes on the end of the bag, which tells you which part it is. If it's a complicated design, if it's a basic design like this one, we know that the chains are one size. I mean, we've made this particular arch, I don't know how many thousands
if we
of
had
times.
to do it to be absolutely bulletproof, we've got inside chains, outside chains,
Connectors.
and connectors. So that's the three elements. And the thing is,
and these are just called duplets.
and the thing is, in your business, you can call them whatever you want.
Hi, Lillian.
And you can even just take a photo and have it. So this is the cheat sheet. So you have a picture of that on a sheet before you start and say, this is a connector. And on your bag it says connectors.
Connectors. You have 21 of these, because for one of these arches, the chains, the long chains, are 20 Decolinks, and then you need 21 of these because you need the extra one to finish it off at the end.
The other way of doing it is if you're doing this kind of job a lot or frequently, you can have a sheet which has the picture of your chain on, picture of your rings on, and then you just have it bag, and then ready for bag 1, bag 2, bag 3. So you can just mark the bags up with a number. So again, you land on site and all your chains are in bags 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's breaking it down into logical little steps. That's all. So the end of this would have the weight on.
Yes.
And it would be one weight, and it's going to join into this, and you will actually end up with one extra 5-inch, which is the weight that's going to sit there on the bottom.
Let's make a pretend weight.
Yeah, let's do that to show.
So what we do is when we make our weights, we try to make them the same size as the duplets that we do in the 5-inch on here, and then it means that when that's sitting in there as the extra one, which Dom will show you again, but as it's sitting in there as the extra one, it just looks like one of the balloons, but it's actually a double stuffed 12-inch balloon in this case, with sand in.
Yeah, now it does slightly show a different colour, but it's at the bottom underneath, so it's hidden away nicely. It's done with the 12-inch, so it's got the robustness with it being the weight.
Yes.
So theoretically, we'd have these all ready to go.
I'll tell you what we're going to have to do on all 4 now, because we've only got 2 of these, you're going to have to use them. So we'll do this one, come on.
Come on, we'll do it. So if we had the weight on here, we could add this in, but we wouldn't do this at this stage, which is what our point is. If you add this on now, you've got that weight on, which makes it hard to work with. So as we start the structure off, we don't add the bottom link. So we keep one of these to one side, we don't add the weight on, and we start at one link up. Okay?
So you miss off your bottom one, start at the next link.
So, starting at the next link, we're going to bring that in between our duplet. And that's where that twisting is going to create the connection and lock that whole piece together. So you can see there, we've got that added in. So we're going to do the same thing on the next one, starting at the one link in, push that into the middle, and then twist to lock it. And that's also just because you've passed it to me, I've done it automatically, but because we've got the kind of the darker pink, which is going to be on the inside, we've made sure that they're next to each other. You don't want to be cross, otherwise it's going to ruin your pattern, yes?
Yeah, it'll create a twisted design.
It really will. You know, you can do some cool things, but that wasn't what our intention is on this one.
Yeah, we want a straight curved arch.
So again,
not a twisted curved arch.
Adding in. So this is
2 weeks time, Lillian, not next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks time on the 19th. Thanks for dropping by.
So this would be ready to go. Imagine our whole structure's done.
Yeah, we just keep on adding the next one and the next one.
Which we can do. We then add our weights on at this stage.
Yes.
Because then we're ready to add our final link in, and that's what creates our base structure. So we tie our weights on, and then go around and join in the 4 corners.
The weight goes in between and we just lock it over.
No tying to do, no struggling on the floor trying to tie those in.
What we try to do as well is try to remember the same way. So if your hands move in the same direction, so if you always take the left one over the right one, continue to do that. It means if you've gone wrong somewhere and you have to undo it, it's very easy to undo it that way.
We generally put 1, maximum 2 twists in as well.
1 twist.
It doesn't really need a lot of, so you don't need to kind of just keep going. You don't need to overwork it.
1 locks it in.
Yeah, we
Zip, zip, zip.
We are probably so familiar with this design and so confident in it. 1 twist to lock it, it's easy to go.
As long as your knots are nice and tight. If your knots are slack on your duplets, you will have to twist it more and more. But if you keep them nice and tight, yeah, and you trust your balloons, in there, twist it over once, all you need.
Absolutely.
All you need.
One of the biggest questions we get is, well, okay, you're going to keep adding these. I see that makes sense. How do you make it curve?
Well, that's easy because we use science.
Yes.
What we've done on here, as you can see, from 4 up from the bottom, so the first 1, 2, 3, 4 are all sized to 9 inches. Then what we do is, for the next 12, which is the ones in between, we've actually brought the size down from 9 inches to 6.5 inches. And that, because it's smaller on the inside, larger on the outside, automatically creates that perfect curve.
Nothing else changes. It's only the 2 inside chains.
Yes, and also as well as the use of colour in this, we decided to use the stronger colour on the inside because they're the smaller ones. If we put the larger colour on the outside and the smaller colour on the inside, these would have really dominated this design, where it's not. It just adds to the design rather than dominating the design.
Again, it's not to say that you shouldn't or can't do that. It really is dependent on how you want to influence the overall colour scheme. Because you might have a corporate design and actually that heavier colour is the dominant colour, in which case, go for it.
Or you want it to stand out against that background, whereas in this, we're taking it from the darker colour, the walk-through area here, which you can see this is the entrance, and then we're taking that colour out. We're using a monochromatic colour harmony, right? Taking it out to the white walls that are around it, so it kind of blends it and helps blend it into its surroundings.
So many options, and what's great is your colour palettes can be really mixed in, because we've got the 3 here.
Yes.
Like you say, monochromatic, and it's fading out. But your colour options you can do with the 5-inch, you can do with the bands. We've done it where the inside band is one colour, the outside strips are another colour. You can kind of play around with it however you wish. There's other elements that we can add into this as well to introduce some other colours.
Yes.
I mean, the simplest one we've done in the past is the 11-inch balloons as a duplet in the gaps here as well.
Yeah, just chuck it in your larger size balloon. So in this case, it'll be 12s, but size to the same size as these. So if this is size to 9 inches, it'll be size to 9 inches as a duplet, and then just pushed in and fill in the gap, so you can bring in another colour into the inside, or just block it off so you can't see through it anymore. It also makes it a bit more structural.
It does. Doing the duplet, though, which is to kind of clarify why we say the duplet, is if we take one 12-inch balloon to 9 inches and put it into this hole, it will work. However, you will spend time rotating it round, making sure that the neck isn't unsure, because it is somewhere and you want to sort of point it so it's level with the ring.
In fact, if we just do this here,
it's so simple, but it makes so much sense when you see it go in.
So size to the 9 inches. If you grab that piece back and do it on that one, it'll show better on there.
Now, if you've got an odd number in the arch, you can do a single one. That's fine, but we're doing it duplets for the most part, and we're just going to bring in. So now we've got the duplet, and it's going to go into this position here and this position here.
Yes, absolutely. Now, that area there is a lot smaller than this balloon, but it's all right. It's fine. These are balloons, right? They're not solid steel. So I can just push that balloon into the gap the first time, and then what I'm going to do is I'm pushing inside, I'm pushing this one down, and I'm pushing this one in as well at the same time.
So you sort of from the inside, one hand to push it through, and the other one to push that one in. Once you've done it once, it makes total sense. The win here is it blocks the hole perfectly, and the knot, the connection, is hidden automatically.
All that mechanics.
So it's stronger, gives more structure, but it's guaranteed. You can just throw them in and with 100% confidence know there's no knot or gap or anything unsure.
So it's perfect. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take some Prima balloons, we're going to add in some Prima foils,
Prima, baby,
and also some Prima Decor, just to change this up from just being a standard latex style arch to either something that we can personalize or something that gives us a message for this design. And for that, what we're going to do is one of our most popular Prima 18-inch foils is the pink polka dot happy birthday design. This one here
is also available in blue, but apparently boys don't get it as much as the girls get it.
So
this is
this design as it is on the packet.
I'll give it its dues. It is one of my favourite 18-inch Prima.
It is a really nice design.
I'll give it that. I understand why it's outsold all the rest.
Yes. So for this, what you need is we need a piece of a 260.
Yes.
Just a scrap will do, but I've got a full one here, so we'll use that. And what's that, about an inch and a quarter of the Click stretchy balloon tape that we have on here. Now remember that certain foils, it doesn't stick to all foils straight away, but we have learned a trick. So what I've got is a Sharpie marker. I'm going to use the back. See my barcode's on the back. I'm going to see where my connection is going to be, which is going to be right in the middle, and I put a mark at the top and the bottom.
You don't have to mark it, you can do it by either you want, but
Yeah.
it's just a guaranteed hit if you do it this way.
And then what I do is I just do a little bit of colouring in on here, and the solvent that's actually in the Sharpie marker itself, obviously you could use whatever colour that disappears into it, but I use this black one so you can see it.
It's going to be hidden at the back as well, so you won't actually see it in the design.
No.
This can all be done ahead of time. This is air fill, going to last for ages. The adhesive, the longer it's on, the stronger it's going to get as well. So actually doing this a day, 2 days before is perfect. It makes it better for this.
Yeah.
And it's ready to throw into the design when you're on site. Because again, it's being done with a connector, so it can be added in really easily, but again, with confidence.
Maria, you're awesome. Thank you very much for that comment. That's lovely, honestly. We like comments, positive, negative, generally supportive.
More so that I can see them now. Although I do have to take the barcode off the screen, because if someone writes in there, I won't be able to see it.
Right, okay, so we've got our stretchy balloon tape. I've taken it back halfway, and I've put my piece of 260 across the middle of the black, so you can see that. You should be able, because of the black, you can see it nicely.
Good technique as well that Keith's using there as well. He's using the backing of the stretchy balloon tape, folding it over halfway, so the handling of the tape is done on the back inside still, because handling balloons, you're going to get a bit of dust, bit of muck on there as well, and you don't want to put that on the tape.
I have got this experience from using lots of sticky plasters and keeping it sterile. So,
nice. So
that goes onto the black, across the 260, pull that across, and then on there.
I'll put this in the universal bin.
Thank you. Now, everybody knows that the longer you leave an adhesive on there, the stronger the bond becomes. But even though that's just on there, I mean, you can hear how tight that is. That is super strong. Okay,
Because
that's
if
a
you put
great
that
connection.
much tension on it in the design,
Probably shouldn't be using a balloon, right?
That's the wrong type of structure. This is a decorative element we're adding on. This is not structural in the fact that it needs this for this to stay up.
No.
So it's just holding this balloon on, so it's only light duties that it needs.
I'm just taking that tab and putting that across there just to continue the arch. You are very welcome, Shelley. We also love this arch, and we love you.
This is true.
Can I have a 12-inch baby rose? No, at the bag on the top, that'll do. One of them.
Go on then.
I want that one. Yeah, no, thank you. Right, and then I'm going to size it to 9 inches.
It's almost like we're consistent with the sizes all the way through this to make it really easy.
Wow! Yeah, it's
knew?
like we made it easy for everybody. Right, we're going to take our scrap of 260 and we're going to take the neck of that 9 inches and we're going to tie it. It doesn't have to be particularly tight. In fact, it's better if it has a little bit of stretch in between there. I'm going to chop off that extra bit of 260. Could have just done with a half, to be fair.
This particular one doesn't need to be rounded, this balloon as well, because you can round it to fit it in here, but actually the way it's going to be used, the non-rounding works pretty well as well.
Maria, I'm going to come around the front here and hopefully you'll be able to see this. I'll see if we can get it to focus.
It's called Bob.
It's Click stretchy balloon tape. Now hopefully you saw that.
I believe though, just for that the packaging has now been updated as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of a little bit more pinky blue, white.
Or bluey pink.
Yeah, so it's so just in case you're looking for it.
But it is Click stretchy balloon tape.
And it's one of those ones that you get quite a bit on the roll, so it does last quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
Hence ours is in that packet still.
Yes.
But it's just, if you're looking for it, they've rebranded it.
So now we have our 18-inch balloon tied to a 12-inch balloon, size to 9 inches. And then all I'm going to do is decide where I want, even if this one, which is a smaller hole, I can go straight into there, or I can go into this one. I'll go into the smaller hole to prove that you can do it.
No way.
Yeah, way. What I'm doing is I put my hand inside, and I'm going to push this down a little bit, and then push that in, and that's it.
These Decolinks here as well, the way they're positioned, they actually roll, so it kind of once you start it and get that initial push, it will just roll in just nice.
Here's the one that I prepared earlier, which I'm going to do the same height on this side, and then just down and ta-da!
Lovely.
And then we can either turn it sideways if you want to do the message all the way across on the inside of there so it follows around, or we'll do it like this, or you can do it both at the same angle so it becomes both of the jaunty angles.
Jaunty angles, yes.
But are you going jaunty or are you going straight?
I'm going jaunty.
Jaunty, okay.
So you go that way, shall I go that way?
No, go the same way. There we go. No, do the other way. No, I want straight. Get a spirit level out, straighten it up. Come on.
Jaunty angle.
Straight. There we go. Perfect.
If it's not straight, you need to adjust your monitors.
Yes, it's your fault. It's your eyes.
But again, what's great is you can throw them in and do little minor adjustments because you've got that mechanical connection, the elasticity.
What? I never thought of that to add a foil. Brilliant. Well, there you go. That easy.
It was worth you watching tonight, Shelley, wasn't it?
I would do the floss dance, but
he can't.
I can't. What we're going to do is, well, you're going to love the next bit then, because we're going to add. You're going to add the foil like this, but we can also add some. That's that one. That's gone. That's gone by the by.
I'm still excited about it.
We also have starbursts. Now, people love. Oh,
what are you doing?
I'm just going to show this one, but we're not using it. But it's an example.
No, but it's lovely.
It's yeah, exactly. It's the
pink
new
pink
Prima. Yeah, the leopard print available in dark pink on light pink and light pink on dark pink.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's true.
I got that right, didn't I? Yeah, I thought so.
There's also in this range as well. There's some the black version as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
we've seen a wall done for that. Have you had a little look?
The Prima.
Keep an eye out for the new Prima 2005 catalogue if you
2005.
2025. 2025 catalogue.
Retro catalogue, baby.
There's a wall in there. Absolutely stunning is the correct word.
Yeah.
Right. So we have the Prima
Starburst.
Starburst. People love the Starbursts.
Those people are us and other people.
Yes, but we love them. And yes, you can use them as a full Starburst, like this one.
So this one is the 26 inch.
Yeah, it's a smaller one.
And this is the full set. So in the packet, you get 12 of the fronds, the elements for the Starburst.
Spikes.
You do not have to use all 12. You can use however many you want. It's not a guaranteed that's what you have to use. So this particular one, out the packet, full 12. Do with it as you please.
Yeah, and you could add them in and there as well as the
Great
full 12.
floor fills around the bases, adding and expanded out on some of the organic decor. Hanging as well.
Yes.
So ceiling hanging to expand out the areas.
Yes.
But we're going to show a couple of different bits, not using all of them.
No.
Showing that you can break the mould. You know,
Yes.
It doesn't have to be 12.
So this one is just 3 of them.
Looks rather lacking though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
It's not. Three's not as good as 12.
It's not a Mercedes.
Okay.
It's like the Mercedes badge, right? Yeah. So that, so Mitsubishi as well could be very.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We went off on a tangent of cars.
so there's what we're saying is that we're only using 3 out of the pack of 12. So that means, if my maths is correct, you get to do 4 of these out of one
But
pack.
3's only a quarter as good as a 12 though. Just saying.
Are you doing complex maths and trying to?
I'm just saying. We've suggested using 3 instead of 12, but it doesn't look as good. Can we fix that?
Yes.
It's like, great guys, you can use less. But
No, I wasn't finished. I know.
I understand. I know what's coming, but I'm just saying.
I've got some 5-inch.
I'm just trying to convince them that actually it gets better.
I've got
Oh wow!
5-inch white. Screw you. Go over
It's
there.
amazing. Look at this. Oh, we can do this art with
1,
less
2.
balloons.
We have 2 strokes.
He's a genius. We do it
1,
less.
2.
I'm going to make this cake, but I'm going to use no flour.
It's using 3 fronds, all right. It's a third less. It's saving, energy saving. Then 2 strokes again to make our cluster of 3
Oh, we're
5-inch
economising on them
balloons.
now as well.
Yes, we are. Because it matches.
Oh, okay.
Then what we can do is we'll put the 3 through
So we're at 6 now. I see where
the
you go.
5-inch.
Look at that.
Right, and then because it's a 3 on the back and it's a 3 on the front, they actually line up really nicely and they keep themselves in that structure. So it's a really nice structure, and from there,
It is amazing
what I'm going to do
that,
is I'll
that
have
one
another
extra cluster will do.
12-inch. Yes, please. Come on, you got one job. Come on, keep up.
And again, please. Yeah. 3's less than 12, Sherry. 3's less than 12.
Mind blowing. Right, we're going to tie this off. We size it the same size as we've been using all night. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to 5-inch balloon, the neck.
I just want to also qualify as well.
1 second. Let me tell them. I'm going to tie this together.
No, I just think they need to know that that machine can do other sizes.
It can.
It's not a one-trick
But not tonight. All right.
It's a one-size machine.
So we now have our 12-inch balloon size to 9 inches.
Beautiful.
With this, I know. That's just me. And then we've got our stretchy neck that we can push into the design. So we can do the same thing as we did with our 18-inch. So I can push that into there and it sticks out that way. Or what we can do is we can do something a little bit differently, because we can also push balloons in from the outside to the middle. So what I'm going to do on this side is I'm going to take one up from here and I'm just going to push that into the design like so, and then have it so that we have these 3 spikes that add a little bit of width onto the design, a little bit of energy. And because we have one, here's one I prepared earlier.
We can also, as well, we're working here so you guys can see it. However, don't stretch, don't go on ladders, don't go on chairs. This lies down. The whole thing can just lean over.
While it's lying down. Just
so you've got, is it one up from there? So in it goes.
You are very welcome, Maria. That's what we're here for. We're here for you guys. We really appreciate it.
Done.
And yeah, so now we've got.
So you really appreciate the white on white there on the wall?
It actually stands out,
yeah.
Especially on my side.
Yes.
My side, because I've got some colour behind from the walls.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, it's adding that spike onto the wall.
But you can go all the way over with this as well. You don't just have to do it in one. You can go, because you know what? You've got spare ones in the packet because you haven't used them all.
God,
right?
Exactly. You get 4.
So you can actually do 4 with this with 1 packet of those starbursts.
Yeah,
that's
with just
absolutely
one of them starbursts.
Fantastic value. Go the whole hog, get a couple of those,
How amazing
throw it on.
is that?
Love that.
You love it. Right, okay, so what we've got
What
as
else
well.
we got?
We've got, here's the one I prepared earlier. This is our Prima Descent, and we've used half a pack on this. I'm going to go on the front so you can see it a bit closer. So you get 2, and it gives you that flower star.
Look at the shine.
Like I mean, that is, I mean, 1 second.
Beautiful.
That's much.
Oh, I see where he's going with that.
That's much better.
Yeah,
Look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that's the best? So yeah, it gives us that 5-petal flower with the 6 ones sticking straight out. And we can do the same thing. We can add on our balloon onto here, and we can have it so that it sticks out onto there.
We've seen before where people have done clusters like this and not done this element, and they'll tie on something like a link or the 11-inch, 12-inch balloon, and then they're going to try and put it into something. The thing is, it gets pulled in, but you spend forever and a day trying to get these to sit, where this can be done, and it naturally wants to sit like that because this all locks in together. Then you get your Lego connector to attach it in. Let the 5-inch pull the weight for kind of structuring it.
Yes.
That on its own is fine. Can be done in advance again, stick in the bag.
And this is the small one. This is using the 26-inch starbursts rather than the 20. This is the 26 rather than the 40. Sorry.
So that's the 40 against. Go that way.
Oh, I've had a good idea.
40, idiot. 40 against the 26.
I've had a good idea, John. Now that you've got them 2 in your hand, what are you going to do with them?
Oh, I don't know. Who would thought of an idea with these? Anyway, take your 3 spare ones.
I think what you should do is you should take them and combine them with them.
Then you take your 3 left over from the packet here because you haven't used them all.
And handily, I've got 3 balloons I've already inflated before.
We're just going to go in the gap, so we're just going to mesh them together. Dunk, dunk. Little twist, and then take some latex, do the same thing.
3, 3, and 3.
Makes 9. So we'll go with white on the outside there, and then just sit there.
I'm going to show you the difference is that because although both of these are using 6,
yes,
this is done as a 5 with 1 sticking out. Whereas this is done with a 3 and a 3, and you get a very different result.
And the colour contrast using the white with the pink on pink is lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can turn these so that the
options.
so that the ridges like come to the centre, Oh, but it's
Again,
it's
that 5
very
inches
different.
offers the structure up though, so you can make them, set them, and then just put it into design.
Yeah, and not just good for arches as well. You know, you imagine if you're doing the marquee pieces or something like that and adding these into the designs, you're using these in a fantastic way, and it is absolutely brilliant. So it's
A great
Shelley's
way,
on overload right now.
A great way of adding in what I would say is the more expensive part of the element, because you do
Yes.
the bulk with the inexpensive product.
Yes.
All the structure, there's no frame, you don't have to go back for it, and the bits that cost us money are just the little finishing touches that add all the little wow and the value.
I think that is such a, you know,
That's lovely elements.
it is. It's and the way that it catches the light.
Yeah.
Imagine this at a disco or something like on a night time when you've got the disco lights hitting it.
Disco, Keith.
So cool with 2 different sizes. You are right. It is rather cool. Also, you can use it as a Ninja Death Star.
Or a Mercedes emblem.
Mercedes kind of emblem. So I think that's all we have time for. So what I'm going to do is you go back through there for a moment. I am going to take some time and move this out the way so that you can see the full size of the arch.
Yes, you do that.
I've got that. You go and
Lovely.
and I'll unplug that, and then I'm going to move this out the way so you guys can see the full size of the arch, and we'll end with this. So thank you very much. And
I've
over
lost my
to
mouse. There we go, I've got it.
over
I lost my mouse there for a second.
over to Dom. Has he gone?
I'm here.
Right.
They're with me. You carry on working.
I am working over
Don't
here.
forget to pick the stuff up off the floor, because it's a bit of a mess. Not me, definitely somebody else. As we said at the beginning, the linking balloon, the Decolink, is our all-time favourite balloon. It is the Lego of the balloon industry, and we can do so much with it. You can really have a play around as well with the sizes. So we've got the up for the straight, then we've got the shorter section, the smaller size, that gives us that curve. But it doesn't have to be exactly that. So if you wanted to, you could go with up, curve, then go back to full size again. So straight, then back the curve again. So you can create some different shapes, some different sizes. We've done fully square ones. So we've got it, angular. So it goes up and straight across. So very, very geometric version of the arch. Or we've done it where it's just got a subtle curve on the corner. So we've gone up, and then we've got 3 that curve it just to get it around the corner. So it has this really nice arc to the edge as well. So,
Right, ready when you are, Dom?
yeah, we're just talking about the variations that we can do.
The curve.
Yeah. But I think over the coming weeks, Keith, we can have a few more built, because I love these.
Oh, absolutely.
Here we go. Look at that, people.
Here we go, look, we have our full arch over here, like this. Wow! And it's big enough. Come back over here a minute, Dom.
So that is, well, if I remember rightly, we can actually get into a decent sized car.
Yes.
So this whole arch, which goes into, what we generally do is 2 of the larger sort of bags for the connectors, and then another bag which has the 4 chains in, and then we generally have just a smaller bag with the sort of the 5-inch duplets in for the connectors, and then so many ancillaries, bits and pieces. But that would all fit into a decent sized family car.
Yes, it does.
Because
MPV.
Yeah, so the fact that it's all into a bag that is movable means it's very flexible, so it goes around your weird fitting seats and all the rest of it, goes in great, and it can be delivered.
Is there any way to make a baby bottle with this kind of link balloon? Yes, absolutely there is. We shall see about going on to different shapes and designs.
Yeah.
It's generally, the more detail that you want with any design that you do, the bigger you have to go, or the smaller the balloon. So what we could do is potentially go down, instead of using 12-inch links, we can take it down to using the 6-inch Decolinks, and you get a much more rounded curve and structure.
Anything that we've done with 12-inch can be done with the 6-inch, so you can actually build something to scale. So you're just adjusting the size accordingly. So theoretically, you could do this whole arch and do it as the 6-inch one.
In fact, we have.
Yeah, and it just a small version. We've done a tabletop with that, but we've actually done a bigger build in the past.
Yes.
We've built it fully in the 6-inch links to make sure that the scale was working between the 2 sizes of the 6-inch balloon, and then we just scaled it up to work with the 12-inch. It was just a great way to kind of work out what was going to do and how it was going to work. And we've actually done some letters that way.
Yeah.
And again, doing it the 6-inch first saves on the space to do it. The time to build it is about the same between a 6-inch and the 12-inch because all the tie-in is identical. It's just a little bit longer on the inflation for the volume of the 12-inch, but not much when you're using something like the twin air sizer.
Yeah.
So actually build time 6-inch to 12-inch is no different, but physical space to build it, yeah.
The good tip on the actual scaling up and scaling down of designs is what you need to remember is you have to work with the smallest part of your design. So the smallest detail of part of that design that you want to see displayed, you have to figure out how you can make that with balloons or however you're doing it. And then you're going to scale up the size of the design that you're going to do, depending on that smallest part of the design, the detail that you want.
Yes.
Now, before we go, sorry, how many balloons do you guys use for the arch and what are the arch dimensions? The number of balloons that we use is, let's go...
160.
20, 40, is it 160 exactly?
For the...
20, 40, 80, and then there's an extra one. There's 164, right?
That sounds right, yeah.
164...
That was close, though.
12-inch links, 160 5-inch balloons to go with it as well.
Yeah. So it's a very easy recap is the chain that runs across here, which Keith was doing the count on, is 20 of the Decolinks long. And
Yes.
we've got 4 of those chains, so that's where we got the 80 from. Where I missed the 4 off is because we've got the connectors, which is a 4, there's 21 of those, not 20, because it's got 1 extra on the other end. So there's 4 of those times 21. And then we've also got the 5-inch on there as well. And you can plus and minus on this as well. So we've got the fact that we could make it a bit shorter if we needed to.
Yeah.
We can make it a bit taller if we needed to. You can also make it a bit wider in the middle. You can really play around with the dimensions on this one. But
So the full height of here is just under 2.9 metres, and the width on here is 9 feet or 2.7 metres.
So that's the external one. And then opening wise, it's kind of built to be like classic double doors.
It's 5.5 feet, or like 160, well, just under 170. But you can go, like if Dom holds that side and I do this side, you can pull it out. So it brings down the height a touch and it just gives you a little bit more of space. So in there, that's a 7 foot.
Yeah, and you can easily add in one extra link and 1 extra chain element, which would then extend that middle bit as well, whether that's a straight or the curve, to really play around with the dimensions. But knowing your base model is really important. So when you're doing sort of an on-site look or you've got some dimensions from a customer, at least you've got some go-to parts that you know what your standard build, standard cost, timing-wise is going to cost you to make and how much you want to sell it for.
Okay, last thing is, actually I'm going to stand that back in a bit because I prefer it when it's standing up, right?
Of course we do.
There we go.
Oh, it's so easy to move.
Absolutely. Last thing that we want to show you, which is a bit of a sneak peek for the show in 2 weeks' time. So,
He's got a body.
Prima has just released a set of dinosaur balloons, the Stegosaurus, the Brachiosaurus. Did I get that right?
I think so.
Brachiosaurus,
I'll not disagree.
Stegosaurus,
Sounds good. It sounds
in the cutesy. And the cutesy colours, and a mixture between the matte and the gloss that they are. You holding that one?
Yeah, he's got no eyes.
Oh.
Did you think he saw us?
And also, our favourite one.
Here he is.
He is. We have our big Rexy. Say hi, Rexy. Hello, Rexy. Rexy has movable arms and legs. And he is an absolutely fabulous new addition from the new Prima Pal range from Prima Balloons.
Very cool. Freestanding as well. He's been all around the office this last week.
Yes.
So he's been having fun.
Expect in 2 weeks' time a dino-themed episode where we will be using latex and the new dino ranges to create some highly sellable, easy to make, fabulous balloon designs.
I haven't got my button, so I'll have to dive through there.
Okay, you go through there. I will keep talking. When are you coming to the USA? We've got nothing planned at the moment, Shelley. We would love to come back to the USA. As you guys know, we love working out there. But there's nothing planned at the moment.
We're ready to say goodbye.
Okay, well, if we're ready to say goodbye, I'm going to say goodbye from over here and hand you back over to Dom briefly. Here we go.
I'm going to say goodbye from over here. And until the next time, we'll see you in 2 weeks. So, ciao for now.
Have fun. Bye-bye.